Namaste all. Namaste Jyoti ma'am.
Namaste, Preeti.
We'll be starting in a minute. Is that fine, ma'am?
Yes, Preeti. So you want to give them 2 more minutes so people can
Yes.
join?
Sure, ma'am. So we will wait for 2 more minutes.
Yes.
Can we start, ma'am?
Yes, Preeti.
Namaste, everyone. It's a pleasure on behalf of DAV Prashasti, the Health and Wellness Division of the DAV Group, your partner in health, to welcome you all to this free webinar on cyberbullying, understanding and preventing online harassment by Mrs. Jyoti Kolattur. To give you all an introduction about Mrs. Jyoti Kolattur, she is an accomplished psychologist, a senior consultant psychologist at the DAV Group. She specializes in general and relationship counseling. She is the founding member of the Tamil Nadu Career Counseling Association. She's a soft skills trainer. She's been trained extensively in suicide prevention and addressing adolescent issues. She's also a certified POSH trainer and also accredited supervisor in psychology. With the compassionate touch, she navigates individuals and families through challenges, fostering resilience. She's a CBT trained professional whose expertise extends to career counseling, incorporating mindfulness, and therefore creating a holistic approach for mental well-being. Now the stage is yours, ma'am. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Preeti. Good evening, everyone. Namaste.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste. Yeah, today, thank you, Dr. Preeti, for that wonderful, warm welcome. And today is our 11th webinar, and we would be talking about cyberbullying. So does anyone know what cyberbullying is?
Bullying and
Right? Yes. Today we will be talking about cyberbullying has become increasingly common, right? Especially amongst teenagers. Awareness and education is essential to combat this issue. So today we will be talking about what is cyberbullying, what are the impacts, and how to address and prevent it. We will also, I want to share a lot of real life examples so that you will understand the gravity of it. Give me a second so I can share my presentation. Can you view the PPTs?
We can view the PPT, but not in full screen mode.
I'm trying to do that. I'm not able to do the full screen.
Sure, sure.
Yes, I'm trying. I'll try another time. So, okay. Is it okay if it's not showing full screen? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am, that should be okay. If just you make the tab full screen, I mean the.
I'm trying to do that, but I'm not able to. So I don't know why. So,
Or
okay.
just enlarge the application. That should be fine on the top. Yes, I think it should be fine. Yes, ma'am.
Could be okay. Okay. So today we will be talking, like I told, we will be talking about cyberbullying. Is it moving?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just give me a second.
Sure.
Can you?
It's now in the fax screen,
Yes,
ma'am.
it is in the facts. Yes, right. So before we move into the session, I wanted to talk about some of the facts, so you'll have an idea what cyberbullying is and what these teenage kids are actually going through. Okay, so 42% of kids have been bullied online, and almost 1 in 4 of that have told it has happened twice or more for them, right? And 9 out of 10 middle school kids have actually had their feelings hurt online, because majority of the parents don't even know on what social media the kids are there, right? So 9 out of 10, right? About 75% of kids have visited a website that actually cyberbullies another student. Most kids know where cyberbullying happens, and 75%. Just look at the numbers, they are really big numbers, right? So 4 out of 10 middle school students have had their passwords stolen and changed by somebody else, and this child would be logged out. So he cannot access his own account, and somebody else will be posing as this child, right? 21% of kids have received mean or threatening emails. Am I audible loud and clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay. And see, usually
Yes, ma'am.
what happens is cyberbullying is very similar to face-to-face bullying, real-life bullying, right? But at least the real-life bullying stops, school ends or college ends, right? Workplace ends. Bullying also, at least there's a pause there after 4 p.m. But here, it doesn't, there is no stop, right? Even after you get home, because internet is available all the time. So there is no full stop to it. It just extends, right? The primary cyber bullying location is majority of the time, it is the chat rooms, right? And this would be a surprising fact. Girls are twice as much as boys. They are either they are victims also twice as much, and they are perpetrators also twice as much. Right? Girls bullying other girls, girls bullying the boys. Right? So about 58% of the kids have admitted that somebody has told me something mean or hurtful things online. More than 4 out of 10, right? So almost 50%. And they say it happens more than once to them. Cyberbullying, recent times it has increased a lot, and 10 to 17-year-olds are the ones, mostly affected with the cyberbullying. So now with the facts, I want to get into the topic. How many of you think bullying is done accidentally? தெரியாம பண்ணிட்டாங்க bullying. Bullying தெரிஞ்சு பண்ணுவாங்களா தெரியாம பண்றாங்களா?
Usually தெரிஞ்சுதான் பண்ணுவாங்க. Usually.
Okay, தெரிஞ்சுதான் பண்ணுவாங்க இல்லையா? So bullying is not.
We got a chat that they know and do, ma'am.
Yes, they do. They know what they are doing, and it is on purpose. Majority of the time, it is to hurt the other person. It is a repeated behavior, and it either causes physical or emotional distress to the other person, the victim. Right? So cyberbullying is very similar to that, but by using technologies, through internet, via mobiles or your gaming networks or your gaming chat stations. That is where usually cyberbullying happens. So cyberbullying is with the help of technology, and not necessarily one person. Just like in real life, ஒருத்தர் தான் பண்ணணும்னு இல்லை, group of people சேர்ந்துட்டு பண்றது deliberate act to hurt or upset somebody else. Right? So cyberbullying நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா technology majority of the times is, I mean, during the pandemic we all knew without technology learning would have come to a full stop, but it did not happen only because of technology. But lot of times unacceptable illegal behaviors க்கு தான் நிறைய times நம்ம technology யூஸ் பண்றாங்க. So cyberbullying can be, you know, threats ஆ இருக்கலாம், intimidation ஆ இருக்கலாம், harassment ஆ இருக்கலாம், stalking ஆ இருக்கலாம். We'll talk about this. இது ஒன்னொன்னு நான் explain பண்றேன், then you'll know what it is, right? Vilification, defaming, rejecting somebody, excluding somebody, and you know, உங்களுடைய personal things without your permission, sharing it with somebody, manipulation, இது எல்லாமே cyber bullying கீழ வந்துரும். Okay, so cyberbullying not necessarily it is only, you know, only rude talks கிடையாது. sexist bullyingலாம் இருக்கலாம், இல்ல caste வச்சு bully பண்ணலாம், race வச்சு bully பண்ணலாம், இல்ல உங்களுடைய faith வச்சு bully பண்ணலாம், sexual orientation or gender identity, or இல்லனா academically இந்த கிட் போரா இருக்காங்க, இல்ல ஏதாவது ஸ்பெஷல் நீட்ஸ் இருக்கு அந்த கிட்டுக்கு, இந்த ரீசன் எல்லாத்தையும் வச்சும் they do cyberbullying. Okay, cyberbullying usually is carried, like, you know, நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி individuals one on one நடக்கும், இல்லைன்னா குரூப்பாவும் நடக்கும். Okay, cyberbullying can be done. எனக்கு யாருமே தெரியாத ஒருத்தர் கூட என்ன cyberbullying பண்ணலாம். Right? Am I making sense? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay. So, can someone tell me, யாரு cyberbully பண்ணுவாங்க? Is it always the, you know, ஒரு கிட் இன்னொரு கிட்ட சைபர் புலி பண்ணுவாங்களா? யாரு சைபர் புலி பண்ணுவாங்க? Is it always one child bullying the other one?
We have got a chat that anyone can, ma'am.
Yes, anyone can. It is sometimes classmate and classmate, or schoolmate and classmate. It can be a teacher and a student. It can be a parent and a teacher. It can be a staff with another staff. It can be amongst anybody, like you said, it can be amongst anybody. Now, first time சொன்னேன், teenagers நிறைய affect ஆகுறாங்கன்னு சொல்லிட்டு இல்லையா? So can someone tell me, is it only teenagers who are getting affected with cyberbullying?
No, even office workers are.
Pardon me?
Even office workers are.
Okay, office adults, correct? Even adults get cyberbullied, right? So I'll give you a very recent example. I don't know how many of you follow news and read newspapers. ஒரு ரீசெண்ட் நியூஸ் உங்களுக்கு நீங்க பார்த்துருப்பீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஒரு ஸ்மால் பேபி அவங்க அம்மா கையில இருந்து தவறி கீழே விழுந்துட்டாங்க ஒரு ரூஃப்ல. Did you all read that news?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, and you know, like, you know, good thing, the other people, the others in the apartment somehow saved that child, correct? Very small child, or 6 months தான் இருக்கும் அந்த baby. Did you all know that news?
Yes, yes, and in the chat box we are getting yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So most of you know that case, right? So, but what happened? How many, you know, like threats, or how many people trash talked that mother that she was not careful, right? You don't even know. None of us know what happened actually, right? Though the apartment people have told so many times in the news channels that no, she's a very genuine mother, a very normal person who takes good care of her. நல்லா பாத்துக்குவாங்க. It was an accident, right? But none of them left that mother alone. And in 2 weeks' time, that mother killed herself. Like, she couldn't step out of her house. She couldn't step out of the room. She was actually under treatment for postpartum depression. You know, kids பிறந்து அதுக்கப்புறம் வர டிப்ரெஷனுக்காக அவங்க ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் எடுத்துட்டு இருந்தாங்க. But with all this, even that she survived. But the cyberbullying, she could not. She killed herself. Now, who's actually suffering? Did anybody, you know, who commented or who were bullying her going to take care of the child or help the child? Nobody is. Who's suffering now? It's that family who is suffering. So we do not know most of the time what is actually happening, but we just comment. We just, you know, talk trash about the other person, be it online, be it in person, right? So usually cyberbullying, like somebody said, it in between pupils, between student and staff. நீங்க actually பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த ரொம்ப குவாய்ட்டா எக்ஸ்கியூஸ் மீ ரொம்ப குவாய்ட்டா இல்ல இந்த கிட் எல்லாம் புலி பண்ணாதுங்கிற ஒரு கிட் கூட ஆன்லைன்ல, பிகாஸ் நான் அனானமஸா இருக்கேன் இல்லையா, ஸோ ஸ்டாஃப் மெம்பர்ஸ் டீச்சர்ஸை பத்தி யூனோ டிராகேட்டரி மெசேஜஸ் எல்லாமே ஆன்லைன்ல போய் போஸ்ட் பண்றது ரொம்ப நார்மலா நடக்குது. Between parents and teachers and pupil, between parents and staff, between staff members also. So all of these are possible, right? It is not just the student alone, right? நம்ம நிறைய வாட்டி நீங்க நோட்டீஸ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா இந்த அபியூசஸ் என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, இது அவங்க சொல்ல வேண்டியதெல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டு they will also tell I was just expressing my idea, I was just expressing my views. இது பின்னாடி அவங்க போய் ஹைட் பண்ணிப்பாங்க, right? But abuse and freedom of speech are two different things, right? Abuse நடக்குது அப்படின்னா abusing is on purpose to aiming to hurt somebody. But giving your opinion need not necessarily be hurtful to anybody, correct? So majority of the time abuse எப்படி நீங்க கண்டுபிடிப்பீங்க அப்படின்னா when the communication is threatening, when the communication is on purpose causing distress to you, then automatically this will come against the law. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So can someone tell me where does this bullying happen? In the cyber bullying especially, எங்கெல்லாம் cyber bullying நடக்கும்?
Twitter, ma'am.
Pardon me?
X, Twitter.
Twitter, yes. Where else? Are students also here?
We got Instagram, WhatsApp, social media, common groups.
Yes. Yes. All of these places, it will happen, right? So exactly like whatever you told. And it can be sometimes, as emails to you, as regular messages to you. Right? And it is, all of this, either direct message, and how many times you would have received phone calls, maybe now because of these, these true callers, and you can identify who it is. Otherwise, how many times when we had, that also comes under bullying, cyberbullying, people would call, nobody would talk, like silent calls. Yes? So these are the places, and majority of the time, if you see, it is this online gaming communities, cyberbullying is really high. Okay, what are the types of cyberbullying? Other types irukka appadina? Yes, there are types, and idu ellam da adode types. What is flamming? Flamming is online la fight pandrathu. Okay, so it can be direct names, or it can be they can come under different names and fighting. Okay, fighting online. Disparaging is posts or messages that to target someone, ரொம்ப ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்கா டார்கெட் பண்ணி, it can be based on their race, ethnicity, religion, gender, இதெல்லாம் பேஸ் பண்ணி particularly targeting somebody. Exclusion. Exclusion is நான் ஒரு வாட்ஸ்அப் குரூப்ல இருக்கேன், நான் ஒரு ஏதோ ஒரு குரூப்ல இருக்கேன், பட் ஐ வில் ஆன் பர்பஸ் exclude that person. And it happens very normally in teenage kidsல நான் நிறைய பார்த்திருக்கேன். ஒரு கேங் இருப்பாங்க, ஒரு குரூப் இருப்பாங்க. Suddenly they feel this child is not fitting into that group. They will remove that child. They will exclude that child, and it is very disturbing for that child. So to get back into that group, they will do anything to get back into that group. Right? And there was one 12th standard child who was brought to me because அவன் நிறைய dating apps எல்லாம் browse பண்றான்னு சொல்லிட்டு. But what happened, that group, the 12th standard boys group, had removed him. His friends group had excluded him from the group because he did not have a girlfriend. Because everybody in that group should have a girlfriend. That's the rule and norm of that group. But because this child did not fit in, they excluded him. So he was so desperate to get back into the room. So he was like browsing websites, like dating apps, how he can get back into the room. So this has consequences also, right? Outing na sharing someone else's secrets. அவங்க வந்து ஒரு private information. Okay, so that is outing. Next is trickery. Trickery is tricking someone into getting their personal information. See, if you love me dearly, you have to give me this information. I should know something which nobody else in the world knows. Right? Very personal. Most of the time, even parents don't know that personal information. But if it's like the partner or my boyfriend is asking, or this online stranger friend is asking, but I'm okay to share this personal information. So other share பண்ணும்போதும் this one happens. Again, I will give you an example. This one actually happened where this child gave a personal information, but the boy actually was her own classmate. She did not know that. இவன் வெளியில வேற யாரோ மாதிரி ஒரு புதுசா அக்கௌண்ட் ஓபன் பண்ணி he befriended her. So he was regularly asking for some information, and few times he asked and she had given the information, very personal details. And from then on he started targeting her, abusing her online. And just imagine, how can she sit and focus in the classroom? It's not possible at all. But she did not know that person was in the same class, right? So you have to be extremely careful not to share, if your parents don't know, I mean, even if your parents know something very personal about you, not necessarily anybody else should know anything about it, correct? So tomorrow that person is not your friend, you are blocking him, then they have, they will start threatening you, saying that I'm gonna, post it online, right? So be extra careful. Okay. This impersonation is what they do is like, it's like they pretend as if it is somebody else. It is them, but they act and talk as if it's not them. அவங்க வேற மாதிரி பேசிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. It's similar to catfishing. Okay. Harassment, again, repeatedly sending messages. You don't know who it is, but continuously you'll keep getting messages. Just imagine every second, every 3 seconds, every 4 seconds, you're getting a message. And everything, it's like you don't like it, but you keep getting messages. Okay. And cyber stalking is very similar to that. It is also harassment. It is continuous harassment. It can sometimes cause physical harm also. Okay. So again, we'll move to the next one. Am I audible? Am I loud and clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So what are these forms? Again, we talked about it. I want to talk a little more in detail. So threats and intimidation. How do they do this? I'll talk. It's like I told you earlier, mobile. How many of you have received, now it's a little less, but how many times have you received emails like that? You don't know that person at all, but you would get emails from some stranger. You won't know, should you block it, should you complain, but என்ன பண்ணணும்னே தெரியாது. Mobile phones, regular நீங்க வெப்சைட்ல நீங்க ஏதாவது போஸ்ட் பண்ணியிருந்தீங்கன்னா அதுக்கு comments, right? Threats can include violence. And when you're a public person and you want to talk about politics or any of these, you're going to comment against it, you will even get threat messages, right? So harassment and stalking, we talked about it, right? So unwanted text or instant messages, making phone calls, like I told you, in silent calls. உங்களுக்கு கால்ஸ் வந்துட்டு இருக்கும், நீங்க அந்த நம்பர் பிளாக் பண்ணீங்கன்னா வேற நம்பர்ல இருந்து வரும், வேற நம்பர்ல இருந்து வந்துகிட்டே இருக்கும். You cannot sit, you cannot live your regular life. It is very disturbing and it is very difficult, be it for adults or be it for kids, teenagers also. Social, sometimes that's why we tell earlier, நீங்க வெளியில போனீங்கன்னா don't use the common Wi-Fi இருந்தா don't use. That's the best. We don't use it, right? Networking sites or message boards, continuously or derogatory messages, உங்களுக்கு அதை ரீடே பண்ண முடியாது, அந்த அளவுக்கு இருக்கும் அதெல்லாம். Okay. Tracking someone's activity. I'll tell you another case. Okay. This one was ஒரு child. She was only 13 years old. And a neighbor, an adult neighbor, again befriended her on a gaming platform. Both of them became friends because she didn't know, but he posed as another teenager. She's 13. He told he was 16 or 17 and he has befriended her. What happened? Because he sees her every day, he is a neighbor, and then befriend பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறமா again stalking started happening. Whatever you're wearing, I don't like that dress, get back and you go change. Or oh, are you going to this place today? He starts stalking her in person and online also. It became extremely difficult for that child after a point, because she did not know, like I told you, online bullying, cyberbullying, what happens is it doesn't stop after 4 p.m. or 6 p.m. It cannot let you live in peace, even in your own home, even in your own room. You won't know who is looking at me. இப்போ யார் என்ன பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கா, இப்போ யார் என்ன நோட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கா, who is watching me, right? So it is so difficult. And that 13-year-old actually killed herself. So in the 4 cases இருக்கு அந்த மாதிரி அந்த 4 cases ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் அதோட gravity it's so impacting அப்படின்னு சொல்லி then laws started coming 2012 அப்புறம் தான் ப்ராப்பரா சைபர் புல்லிங்க்கு லாஸே வர ஆரம்பிச்சது. And that was one of the cases actually. And that man was 55 years old. Okay. And doxing is you are going to மற்றவங்களுடைய டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ் பர்சனல் டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ் பர்சனல் டீட்டெயில்ஸை ஆன்லைன்லயோ எங்கேயோ போய் கலெக்ட் பண்ணி அவங்களுடைய பெர்மிஷன் இல்லாம நீங்க அதை வந்து பப்ளிக்லி submitting it, right? So that everybody can view. I'll give you another example for doxing also. Okay, vilification again. How do you vilify somebody? I mean, okay, I don't like that person. Individual, name calling, general insult பண்றது, and then telling, I'm just giving my name, my example. Slut shaming. Usually for girls and women, this happens majority of the time. So text or messages or image or nude image, so it's very difficult for that people to, அதுல இருந்து வெளியும் வர முடியாது. They don't know what to do next, right? And ostracizing or peer rejection. This is what we were talking about, excluding someone. Now, a group layer, suddenly they will not talk. Suddenly they will push you out of the. This one happened again. One of the boys, something was happening, and he commented, in the comments saying how unhappy he was with that gaming website. But immediately somebody went and the doxing பண்ணாங்க. So what they did was they found all his information and submitted it, and then from then on he got threat messages. He was told that you will be blocked, நீ உன்னை இனிமேல் இந்த கேமிங் இதில் விளையாட விட மாட்டோம், all of these. And again he went into depression for that. Is it a silly thing? Maybe for us it is a silly thing, but for him, I was part of that group and they have pushed me out and I am being excluded. So he went into depression for that. Right? Identity theft. How many times, right? Hacking. We know, right? How somebody else is hacked into our, especially for the internet and all, somebody else will use your account. Username and password, they will just guess. And that's why, every website will keep telling you'll have to have a stronger password, right? Unauthorized access of anybody's system or anything related to that will come under illegal. It is illegal in our country also. Okay, and that please tell your kids, they think they are very smart, and நிறைய kids சொல்வாங்க, no, எங்க வீட்டு இதை நான் யூஸே பண்ண மாட்டேன். Even if my parents block it, I can use என்னுடைய அபார்ட்மெண்ட்ல இருக்கிறவங்களுடைய இது I can access and use. That is actually illegal. Okay. So yeah, and another thing, like how again this in the email நீங்க பார்த்திருப்பீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். உங்களுக்கு இமெயில் வந்திருக்கும் from this bank or from that bank, அந்த லோகோல இருந்து அந்த சிக்னேச்சர்ல இருந்து அந்த நேம்ஸ்ல இருந்து எல்லாமே it is exactly the same, but that's not from them. Has anybody received such emails?
Yes, ma'am. Phishing emails. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, right? Yes. And sometimes, so if it's from a bank, you would not hesitate to share your OTPs or your number, your card numbers or any of those things. But how do you know if it is, phishing or it is, a genuine email? And how many times you get, if your child is in 10th and above, you would be getting tons of phone calls from all these, these Allen guys or Fiji guys or these integrated, the so-called NEET JEE coaching classes. Would you like to, or go abroad for medical? If you're registered for NEET, then you would definitely get such calls. How do they get your phone numbers? How do they get it? Right? They'll know all the details. Oh, in 12th, yeah. So do you want to apply for other colleges? We can help you. So they just take all of these things from, be it a school website or wherever. That's the only way they can get it, right? So this is identity theft, and that again is under cyberbullying. And if you complain about, you can give that number and you can still complain, and action will be taken against them. But usually what we do, we get annoyed and we block them or we hang up, but we don't complain, right? So publicly posting or forwarding personal information, right? And this again, it is very deliberate. It is wrong. Private content of somebody else just to humiliate. This again happened. One of the girls was actually, there was a group of kids. Most of the cases I'm talking about actually has happened in Chennai, right? So this group of kids, 12th graders, 12th group of kids, boys, who are actually consuming alcohol, and this girl had complained this to the school, and the school should have just left it, like, they should have kept her name very confidentially. But unfortunately, it is known to everybody in the class that she was the one. And they humiliated her, they embarrassed her, they took, sent such things online, like, and she couldn't come back to school. And it was actually nothing wrong in what she did, but this happened to her, and she had to quit the school and go back to a different school. And because they had posted one of her pictures, morphing it into like a, they said it was posted online actually as a nude picture. So she had to quit the school and she had to go back to the other school. But still, unfortunately, because it was online, it carried, wherever she went, it was, though she was not wrong at all, it was very difficult for that child, right? And another thing, another case I would want to share with you is, this dating, and when you trust somebody, you think, he's my boyfriend or she's my girlfriend. Don't share anything very personal, anything, even if they ask for, your personal pictures, any pictures, naked pictures, because you don't know that person at all, right? When it's online, this because she had shared it with her boyfriend, because that time they were dating, and then they broke up. But after that, he had shared it with all of his friends, all of his classmates. So trust me, don't share it with anybody, please, right? So why do these people, whoever bully, cyberbully, right? Because they might have a personal or a social or a family issue, early childhood experiences. Majority of the time, those kids were victims also. And when they come online, right, cyberbullying is easier for them because it's anonymous, and they feel they are very powerful there, right? Because as you know, in real life, they feel like very weak, so they are not able to um, bully the other person. So that is one of the main reasons, right? So they don't like the other person, then they cyberbully, they feel provoked, and they're taking revenge. So this one has happened a lot of times to many teachers, actually. If you notice, they would draw pictures and and post it online. They would have a fake account, they would not do it with their own account, but they would come from a fake account and do all of these things. And they need attention, and they either have a poor self-esteem, they're angry because they're not able to manage that, and then they do that. So asserting and increasing, because I want popularity, I want a lot of likes. So inability and they cannot empathize with others. Otherwise, if kids can empathize, they will not do such things. And they, like I told you, they feel very powerful and they are in control when they cyberbully somebody. They are bored, and they want this as a form of entertainment for them, right? Am I with you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what are the effects of cyberbullying? What happens, like I told you, when, see, bullying in person is also wrong, but that at least you can pause. The next day I don't go, there's nothing happening there. But here you are attacked everywhere, even in your own home, even in your own house, right? So how does it affect where, I mean, mentally you're affected, emotionally and physically. Mentally, because I'm feeling upset, I'm embarrassed. I'm like, because how they call, by names, I feel stupid. I'm very angry with my own self. Emotionally, because I feel ashamed. Though only that group will know that you've been cyberbullied, but you feel the entire school knows. Whoever smiles or laughs at something, they think it's about me. So I'm not able to get back to my same class. Everybody would know about it. I feel ashamed. I don't want to, the same things which was interesting. I want to go online, and these kids don't want to be online at all. They want to stay away from all of the things which they used to love. And physically, because these kids struggle to go to bed, they struggle to sleep, right? And they constantly complain about stomach aches and headaches because of stress. Okay. So, like I told you, the feeling of being laughed and harassed by others can, they will not talk to anybody. It is extremely difficult. And sometimes in extreme cases, this leads to suicide also. So what can you do when when you're being cyberbullied? What can you do? Like I told you, not necessarily it's only teenagers, but especially for teenagers, it's very, very difficult. As an adult, they would immediately go complain, right? But children usually don't. They hesitate to come tell their own parents also. So it's much bit more worrying, right? So please talk to your kids and explain what they can do, because most of the time they don't know when they're being cyberbullied, they don't know what to do. Right? They need to talk to a trusted adult. Do they have a trusted adult who they can share? It can be a parent, it can be the teacher, it can be a counselor, it can be anybody, but they should trust that person, right? Because they can help, they can, take additional steps, what can be done. So immediately block and document and report. These are the three important things you need to do. And if you know somebody, or yourself, you're at immediate, risk of danger, then you need to immediately report it or get help from an adult, right? If you know somebody has committed a crime, then please, complain to the local police, or it has to be immediately complained, okay? Because I will tell you what are the risks if you are a bystander, right? You didn't do anything, but you know something has happened. Even then, you're at risk. So if you're at risk at hurting yourself or someone else, there are 24/7 suicide prevention lifeline. You don't have to, even if the thought comes, just call them and talk to them, right? You don't have to end your life just because somebody else has bullied us, right? Okay. So cyberbullying tactics, how do they do it? Like I was telling you, posting comments or rumors about someone online that are mean or hurtful or embarrassing. I'll give you another example. Very recent times, one of the Kannada actors. Does anyone know that case?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. This there was a Kannada actor, and he
Ma'am,
had a
yes,
big.
ma'am, I know, ma'am, that
You
case.
know? Yes? Okay. So this fan, actually, I mean, he was like a crazy fan. We have such crazy fans only in our country, right? I don't mind giving my life for my hero. And this person had an extramarital affair, and he publicly commented saying that, hey, please stay away from my hero's life. Let them live their life, right? And what happened in just in 2 or 3 days time, that person was murdered. Actually, how he was murdered, nobody knew. But when all the inquiry was happening, the same hero who was this guy's fan, he had kidnapped this guy and they had murdered him. So this was again cyberbullying, because he had commented about that person online. This happened. So, threatening to hurt, that happened. Like, threatening to hurt someone or telling to kill themselves. Like he said, you stay away, otherwise I don't mind, because he wanted to save his hero's life, but marriage life. But, actually he ended up dying. Okay. And posting something mean or hurtful picture of somebody, like I told you, right? How this guy did not hesitate to share that girl's picture to everybody whom he knew, right? And pretending to be someone else online, that also happens. And many a times, I'm sure all of you would have told, like, somebody's hacked into my Facebook account or my Instagram account. Please don't share or give any, don't transfer money or something like that, right? Most of us would have received messages like that. Okay, so creating a mean or hurtful web page about somebody. So very personal, but I don't mind sharing all of those things there. Doxing, again, we did talk about it. So to take revenge or to threaten somebody, I will go browse, take all the personal information and publicly post it, including their address, including everything, their credit card details, their personal phone number, their social media accounts, all of it. Okay, so and again, one other thing is encouraging, other tactics people use is false accusation, right? So, and that one, false identity profile. One other thing was blue whale. How, encouraging self-harm and suicide. Blue whale was very, very popular just 2-3 years back. Does anyone remember what blue whale, that game was doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it would tell,
Yes, ma'am.
it would tell you to go harm yourself, to kill yourself, It would say like, oh, why are you alive? Why are you, you're so stupid. Why are you alive? Go kill yourself or cut yourself or harm yourself. All of that. Right? Jealousy bullying. Again, there was one girl who was actually dating a very popular guy in the school. Again, that girl was sent so many hateful messages and texting and on social media. Doxing, we did talk about it. And the other cyberbullying case, very recent times, does anyone remember that UP topper, the Prachi?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Does that come under cyberbullying?
Yes, but I would request you to tell to the audience as well what it is
ஓகே
about.
ஸோ ஒரு யூபியில் ஒரு டாப்பர் கேர்ள் இருந்தாங்க இல்லையா, ஹர் நேம் இஸ் பராச்சி. ஸோ அவங்களுக்கு வந்து ஃபேஷியல் ஹேர் இருந்தது, கொஞ்சம் மீசை இருந்த மாதிரி இருந்ததுனால அவங்க யூபியில் she was a state board topper. But everybody forgot about that and started bullying her, body shaming her. Why are you a boy or a girl? அவ்வளோ பாடி ஷேம் பண்ணி ஒரு பாயிண்ட்ல அந்த கிட் வந்து நான் இன்னொரு ஃபியூ மார்க்ஸ் குறைச்சி வாங்கியிருந்தா என் பிக்சர் வெளியிலேயே வந்திருக்காது இல்லையான்னு சொல்ற அளவுக்கு we forgot about the hard work that child has put from grade, otherwise she would not be a topper. But it is so easy to hurt somebody and demean somebody, right? So this child actually struggled, and that was under cyberbullying. But police எத்தனை பேர் அரெஸ்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க? So many people were doing that. And that was, few people மேல register பண்ணினாங்க, directly message போட்டவங்க மேலாம் register பண்ணாங்க. But we should understand, right? She's only a 10th standard, she's a child. And you would randomly talk, name calling or body shaming, all of that was so wrong. And that comes definitely under cyberbullying. The reason is the social media apps, popular ones, where has somebody raised the hand? Okay, so these are the popular social media apps and sites. நான் வேணும்னே தான் சின்ன இதுல ஃபாண்ட்ல கொடுத்திருக்கேன் because திருப்பி I don't want people to tell they didn't know because of you my kids learned about these apps and சொல்லிட்டு. So these are all the ones where cyberbullying happens a lot. Okay, so warning signs. How do you find out? Am I with you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
So warning signs. எப்படி நீங்க கண்டுபிடிப்பீங்க if the child is being cyberbullied? So ஒரு noticeable increase or decrease in the device use. நீங்க cyber bully பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க டைம்ல என்ன ஆகும்னா, ஐயோ நெக்ஸ்ட் என்ன போட்டாங்க அந்த கியூரியாசிட்டி ரொம்ப அதிகமா போன்ல இருப்பாங்க, ரைட்? நிறைய டெக்ஸ்ட் பார்த்துட்டே இருப்பாங்க, இல்லை யாருக்காவது அதை டிஸ்ப்ரூவ் பண்றதுக்காக டெக்ஸ்ட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருப்பாங்க. அண்ட் சைல்ட் எக்ஸிபிட்ஸ் லாட் ஆஃப் இமோஷனல் ரெஸ்பான்சஸ். நிறைய தனியா சிரிக்கிறாங்க, இல்ல ரொம்ப கோவமா இருக்காங்க, ரொம்ப சேடா இருக்காங்க. அப்போ அதுவும் ஸ்பெஷலி டிவைஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணும்போது. ஓகே, ஸோ அப்போ நாட் நெசசரிலி child is only being cyberbullied. Maybe this child is also bullying somebody else. Okay, so you need to understand. Illa, my kid would not do that. Cannot be the solution, because you don't know what kids are doing, right? So a child is hiding their phone. நீங்க phone கொடு அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா இன்னும் கொஞ்ச நேரம் கழிச்சு கொண்டு வந்து கொடுக்குறாங்க, இல்ல கொடுக்கவே மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. They're trying to hide a lot of things from you, right? Is there anything you want to discuss? இல்ல உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது பிரச்சனையா அப்படின்னு கேட்டா இல்ல nothing, I'll take care அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. சோஷியல் மீடியா அக்கௌண்ட்ஸ் சடனா ஷட் டவுன் பண்ணிட்டு புதுசா வேற அக்கௌண்ட் ஓபன் பண்றாங்க. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் வந்து வார்னிங் சைன்ஸ். ஓகே, சைல்டு இஸ் சடன்லி அவாய்டிங் சோஷியல் சிச்சுவேஷன்ஸ், எங்கேயாவது வெளியில வர சொன்னாலும் வர்றதில்லை. ஸோ அண்ட் திங்ஸ் விச் தே யூஸ் டு என்ஜாய் பட் நவ் தே வாண்ட் டு அவாய்ட், தென் யூ ஹாவ் டு பி கேர்ஃபுல். ஓகே, a child becomes withdrawn, ரொம்ப ரொம்ப சோகமா ரொம்ப டிப்ரெஸ்டா இருக்காங்க, and they are losing interest with people, be it parents or friends also, and activities. So these are all the warning signs. Only when you spend time with the child you will be able to notice all of this, right? Suddenly now 9 o'clock I don't notice any of these things. You will not, because if you spend enough time is when you will know in the warning signs irukanu ungalku theriyum. Okay, so what should you do if cyberbullying happens, right? If you noticed and the number warning signs pathom illaya, okay, yes, I think my child is, maybe he's a bully, or he's been cyberbullied, or he's victim, he's watching it, he's witnessing the cyberbullying happening, which means he knows he is not doing anything, right? So appo enna pananum nanu, appo take steps to investigate what. ஓகே, அந்த சைல்டோடைய டிஜிட்டல் பிஹேவியர் எப்படி இருக்கு, போனோட வச்சிருக்கும் போது எப்படி இருக்கு அவங்க பிஹேவியர்னு கொஞ்சம் நோட்டீஸ் பண்ணுங்க. ஸோ சைபர் புல்லிங் இஸ் அ ஃபார்ம் ஆஃப் புல்லிங். அடல்ட்ஸ் வந்து யூ ஹாவ் டு டேக், ஒரு அடல்ட் எப்படி ஆக்ஷன் எடுப்பாங்களோ அந்த மாதிரி தான் எடுக்கணும் நீங்க. அண்ட் ஈச் சைபர் புல்லிங் வில் நாட், ஒரே solution will not be enough for that, right? So you have to use different approaches to address that cyberbullying. What do you notice there? Notice, recognize if there is any change, be it mood, be it behavior. இதுல ஏதாவது ஒரு சேஞ்சஸ் நீங்க பாக்குறீங்களான்னு பாருங்க. அப்போ எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் what has caused it. என்ன ரீசன்னால இப்படி இருக்காங்கன்னு நோட்டீஸ் பண்ணுங்க. அண்ட் தென் இஃப் யூ சைல்டோடைய அகெயின் டிஜிட்டல் டிவைசஸோட you take and check what is actually happening. First, you need to notice all of these things. Then you need to talk to the child. So ask questions. Know what is happening, where it started, who are all involved. These are the 3 questions ku ungalku answer theriyum. Okay, talking to the child. Document all of this. You have to keep a record of all of these things. What is happening? Take screenshots and then block it. Right? So first நீங்க எல்லாமே record. What we do is we want to quickly delete all of that, right? But there is no proof, then you cannot go complain also. So you have to keep a record and then go report. So most of the social medias and schools have a very clear policy about bullying. எல்லாருமே வச்சிருப்பாங்க. Anti bullying posters எல்லாம் எல்லா schools and collegesலயும் இருக்கும் இல்லையா? So அப்போ cyberbullying also can be treated the same, and they have very clear policies. If the child is being cyberbullied and you have proof for that, school has every authority to terminate that child, whoever was bullying. Okay, so and நீங்க சோஷியல் மீடியாலேயே கூட ரிப்போர்ட் பண்ணலாம். They also have policies for all of that. So after documenting, you need to report and then support. Support எங்க இருந்து கிடைக்கும்? It can be a peer, it can be mentor, it can be a parent, it can be teacher, like we discussed, or a counselor, or a mental health professional when the child needs mental health help. Okay, so these are the things you need to do when cyberbullying happens. Notice, talk about it, document it, report it, and support it. Support the victim, right? Am I with you?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
yes, okay. So digital awareness. Parents, what can parents do? So you won't be able to monitor every action your child is actually doing, correct? And digital world is constantly evolving, and new apps, new devices, new platforms, social media platforms, every day புதுசா evolve ஆயிட்டு இருக்கு. So what can, and majority of the time, if you notice, children and teens are the first ones to use it, even before an adult uses it. Yes or no? Any
Yes,
app,
yes, ma'am.
anything, yes, most of the time it is them, and that's where we learn it also, correct?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. So and posting harmful comments, not only, see, you are posting some comments, you are posting some hurtful and harmful comments to others. அது வந்து it is not just going to affect that person. You have to please tell உங்க kids கிட்ட, it will affect your online reputation also. Why it affects my reputation அப்படின்னா, which will have a negative implication when they are going to be employed or when they are going to have college admission. See, other countries, Western countries, they've already started. இது நீ எந்த social media accountல எப்படி இருந்தாலுமே, it is very easy for them to find out நீ என்னெல்லாம் post பண்ணிருக்க. Even after you have deleted it, it is always there. Correct? All of you agree with that? So, to give you college admissions, to give, இப்போ இந்தியால it is not for college admissions yet, but ஆனா employmentக்கு இதெல்லாம் பார்க்க ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்காங்க. So நீ young, நான் teenager, அதனால எனக்கு தெரியாம பண்ணிட்டேன். But if you've been bullying somebody or commenting, very harmful or hurtful comments, then your, any organization will think about taking you into. So அதனால if you're commenting, please be aware, and parents, please teach your kids that this is not okay. Correct? Establishing rules, right? Monitor, நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி அவங்களுடைய சோஷியல் மீடியா ஆப்ஸ் எல்லாத்தையும் நீங்க மானிட்டர் பண்ணணும். ஹிஸ்டரி ப்ரௌஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Though they will be deleting their histories, but please be aware. Ask them to reset their the privacy settings. Who can view what I'm posting, right? So whether you like it or not, you have to follow your friend or your teen on social media, or ask at least some trusted adult to do it. Right? I mean, they will not friend you on their social media accounts, but at least you should know என்ன அக்கௌண்ட்லாம் இருக்காங்க, அவங்க இமெயில் ஐடி உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா, அவங்களுடைய யூசர் நேமாவது உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா, அட்லீஸ்ட் ஸ்டே அப் டு டேட் வித் தேர் எந்தெந்த ஆப்ஸ்ல அவங்க போய் ப்ரௌஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க, right? And what are the slangs they are using, right? So please be aware of all of these things, right? Social mediaல உங்க கிட் வந்து உங்க கிட் நேம்ல இருக்கவே மாட்டாங்க, but you should still know. And please have a strong rule about digital behavior, content, and apps. நீ எது பார்க்கலாம், நீ என்ன கமெண்ட் பண்ணலாங்கிறத you have to set clear rules. Bystander, again, it is and like I told you, நீ bystander தான், நான் வெறும் witness தான் பண்ணேன், நான் பார்க்கவே இல்லை, எனக்கு எதுவுமே தெரியாது, நான் எதுவுமே டைப் பண்ணலனாலும், but if you know, again that becomes நீயும் சைபர் புல்லிங்க்கு பைஸ்டாண்டரா இருந்தங்கிற கேஸ் தான் வரும் உங்களுக்கு. ஓகேவா? ஸோ ப்ளீஸ் பி அவேர் ஆஃப் ஆல் ஆஃப் தோஸ் திங்ஸ். Okay, so how do you, establishing rules? Sometimes, you have to have a boundary. You should know digital behavior பத்தி சொல்லி கொடுக்கணும். What are the effects of cyberbullying? You please teach your kids about effects of cyberbullying. Be clear on what content, right? So this child, நீங்க ஒரு 10-year-oldக்கும் 15-year-oldக்கும் same boundary வைக்கவே முடியாது. So 15-year-old boundary okay, slightly lenient இருந்தாலும் ஒரு 10-year-oldக்கு அந்த boundary is not enough. So please be very, very clear on what content the child can watch or not watch, or can they share it, can they not share it. Please be very clear with all of these things. Okay, so again, நீங்க அவங்க என்ன ஆப் யூஸ் பண்றாங்க, எங்க போறாங்கங்கறத டெஃபினெட்லி நீங்க பார்க்கணும். and நீங்க you have to model it, because whether you like it or not, அவங்க நீங்க பண்றது உங்க போன்ல என்ன இருக்கோ அத it's very easy for them to watch it, and they think, okay, my dad can do it, my mom can do it, why can't I? They are watching such pictures, why can't I? So please, you have to model it, right? Okay, teachers, what can teachers do, right? Cyberbullying, like I told you, it is very similar to regular bullying. So anti-bullying is and cyberbullying is also, it comes under the anti-bullying only. So policies are very, very clear. Check with your school and authorities and management what these policies are, right? When you can take it to the principal, when you can inform the parents, and you are the authority, you can take action. When you are noticing this child is missing school, or when the child is inside the school, ரொம்ப சேடா இருக்காங்க, யார்கிட்டயும் பேச மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. So when you are noticing all of these things, child's behavior inside the classroom, usually, and the bullying and the gang, again, they will gang up and they will talk about all of those things, social media accounts. And where a kid வந்து உங்ககிட்ட about cyberbullying சொன்னாலும், please take it very seriously. Okay, and the child is not talking to any his classmates or classmates. So please be aware, like I told you, it is not only the boys who cyberbully, girls do it 2 times more. Okay, 2 boys பண்றாங்க, 2 வாட்டி boys பண்ணா 4 வாட்டி பொண்ணுங்க பண்ணுவாங்க. Okay, so please be aware of those things. When can you report cyberbullying, right? So sometimes, name calling, I don't want to report. Up to you. But when can you report? When cyberbullying happens, it has to be addressed. Don't respond. Immediately you want to respond or talk or answer to that, right? Don't respond. And don't forward any cyberbullying messages to anybody. Look, screenshot எடுத்து வச்சுக்கலாம். That is as evidence for you, because you have to record the date and time and description, because when you're going to report it to the police, then they will ask all of these things, right? So save and print and have all of these things, and then block the person who's bullying you. Clear? Okay, so when the cyberbullying becomes law, எப்போ லாக்கு இது ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, உங்களுக்கு bullying is threats of violence. உங்களுக்கு child pornography is related to that, or sexually explicit messages உங்களுக்கு அனுப்புறாங்க, இந்த photos அனுப்புறாங்க, or taking a photo or video of someone in a where privacy was supposed to be maintained, but they did not. Stalking or hate crimes, இதெல்லாம் நடக்கும்போது it becomes law, right? So there was one case where a 13-year-old, actually not 13-year-old girl, she again, actually, she's from Canada. She posted a picture online on some social media. Again, a lot of body shaming and all of this. That's only 3 cases where when it became stronger laws. 13-year-old, 2012, she killed herself. And there was this another 17-year-old hostel. She was in the room, and the friends thought it was fun. It was a girls' hostel. They thought it was fun, so they started recording when she was showering, and they live streamed. Okay, which was not right. Where that's the third one, taking a photo or video of someone in place where privacy was expected, and these kids did not follow it. And I mean, why will anybody let you inside the room in a personal space? Because they trusted you. But this is not what a friend will do, right? But this was live streamed, and the next day she killed herself. She was only 18 years old. right? So these were the cases which was taken into consideration, and that is when the law became very stricter. And number நிறைய states have told cyberbullying in the cases வச்சு நீங்க cyberbullying report பண்ணீங்கன்னா serious action will be taken, right? So yeah, like I told you, so most of the states are taking it seriously, and stalking, hate crimes also will come under law. And cyberbullying is a very serious issue that it requires a collective effect. It's not just one person can go stop it, right? So I hope, like today we've had a lot of case histories. I've given you examples. Using all of these things, we know the gravity of cyberbullying, right? So we can create a safer online environment for our kids and for everyone. Let's work together and stand against cyberbullying and support kids or adults who are actually affected by it, right? So now I've come to the end of the session, and if there is any questions or concerns, you can ask.
There's a question in the chat box, ma'am. Would request Nega ma'am or Sharmagapriya ma'am to read it for you.
Mhm. So can I
Yes,
stop
ma'am.
sharing?
So the question, yes, ma'am. So the question is, how do I, as a person, handle cyberbullying when I am a victim, ma'am? Like, if someone posts an obscene pic of the person, how do they overcome?
Have they posted the obscene picture of that victim?
Yes, ma'am. So the question is like, I am the victim. So how
Okay.
can I handle it? How can I handle myself?
Okay. How can see? Remember, we were talking about these things. You can, because it is already there on social media, so you can document it, you can report it immediately, and you don't have to, and it will be kept confidential, right? So if you go to cybercrime department and you don't even have to go in person, you can do everything online. You just need to give your name, and sometimes you can also tell, I need to change my name. All of this and you can still be safe. Please talk to an adult. Don't go by yourself. If you're a child, if you're under 18, talk to your parent or talk to somebody who you trust, and then go report it. Right? I would suggest you reporting it, because if it is, right?
To add on to that, they have put, how can I overcome it? So maybe they are, how can I overcome it? Trying to ask it emotionally as well.
Okay, how do I overcome it? I know, I see it's not easy, because you have gone through that. It's definitely not easy. That's why you need a mental health professional, because psychologically you will be affected if somebody is posted something about you or post picture of you. Any of those things is going to hurt you. So what you can do, I'm going to stop sharing. So talk to somebody who's who you trust, and they will definitely help you, because we need to know what exactly you're going through to help you come out of it, right? If it is, you have to report it, definitely don't hesitate, report it, so you can stay away and block all of those people. And if it's a gaming site or if it's a gaming app, stay away from it for a few days.
Excuse me, ma'am. Namaste, ma'am, first of all.
Namaste.
Ma'am, yeah, thank you. So, for example, children might be contacting through WhatsApp, ma'am. Students will contacting. Let's suppose if someone has taken their photo or video through WhatsApp using camera, and if they have shared to others, then how it can be detected? And how it can be detected, like they have shared the content and where it is appearing?
Ma'am, if I understand your question right, they have taken a picture or video from the WhatsApp.
And if they shared it to some other, why? Because it will not save in gallery, no?
Correct.
It will be shared online.
So
through
they've taken
WhatsApp.
from your WhatsApp and then shared it with somebody else.
Say for example, problem. A child is suffering from such problem. Then how it can be detected?
How it can be
Any
detected, ma'am? I don't
confusion? Am I
understand the
clear,
last
ma'am?
part of your question, ma'am. I understood the first part. Somebody has taken the picture from your WhatsApp or something and then posted it to somebody else, correct?
Not mine, madam, but generally
I understand. For example, yes.
yes, sir. Their own WhatsApp. Suppose
See, that's why usually I
Taking
tell
a photo of
teenagers,
someone who's
I
walking
tell
like that,
adults
and to
also.
WhatsApp they share to others.
Yes,
It is
that's why most
encrypted,
of the
no?
time
So is
we
there any
always like,
possibility to detect that and to
yes,
whom it is
only
shared?
with cybercrime, ma'am. We
Whether
cannot detect it. Who has taken the picture and who has posted it? Who has posted it? We can, right? But you need cybercrime's help. You cannot do it yourself, or I don't know how
Okay.
to do it. But
Uh,
you can detect who has started that. You know where it started.
uh.
That
So
can
though
be
it is,
detected.
though it won't save in gallery or like that, it can be detected, right?
It can be definitely detected. But the other thing is, usually we recommend teenagers or sometimes adults also don't have your pictures there.
Okay.
Right, at least kids, because just to be safe.
Then suppose if students usually we see if they go home or if they spend on vacation, they'll be using Instagrams like that.
Yes,
So in Instagrams, private chats are also available. They will share it privately. It will not be known to others.
correct.
So if something happens to the child and if they undergo into depression like that, if they share to someone, then how that also is a part of cyber attack. We need to approach them.
See,
Or
ma'am,
like,
I gave you an example, right? So okay, Dr. Preeti has shared, like, how to log in, and complain a cyber crime. You can report it. How to report it? She's shared it in the chat box, so you can just go through that. And the other thing is, like, see, Insta or anywhere, ma'am. When I tell, once you have posted it, whether you like it or not, whether you're deleting it after that or not, those pictures, those messages are always going to be there, right? So whenever you post, see, I can tell you, like, what are the preventing? Okay, so before getting cyberbullied, so what can these kids do, or what can we as adults do also? How do we prevent it? Think before you post. Be very thoughtful and be very respectful, right?
yeah.
So
Okay. Thank you.
privacy settings, again, use your privacy settings and make sure you're controlling who you, I mean, if it's under your control, who is watching it, right? Not necessarily the whole world should watch your Instagram posts, right? But at the teenage years, they don't follow all of these things. But please make sure you as adult tell the child that you have to have these privacy settings. And reporting and blocking. You are going through some bullying online, that make sure they are reporting that abuse immediately. Instead of deleting all of the messages, they need to learn how to document and then report. Correct? And
Okay.
then block it. Okay, and then keep
Okay.
evidence. When you're going for cyberbullying, ma'am, when you're going to report, then you definitely need all of these messages, proof, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
please have screenshots, or please save these messages and then seek help. And
Okay.
Instagram, I always tell, like, please don't share your personal pictures online at all, right? So it is nice to share at that time, but immediately, please be aware. So please be thoughtful before posting it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Surely I'll suggest to my students. Thank you so much.
Okay, when a picture is morphed, yes. See, when it has been morphed, and I understand it is definitely going to hurt you emotionally, psychologically. So please first report, block, delete, come out of all of those, apps for a few days, and then please report, so that, at least the other person is being punished. The perpetrator should be punished. And if you are a victim, definitely get a counselor's help, because you cannot go through this alone, and tell your parents first, or tell a trusted adult, talk to them, then get the help.
Thank you, ma'am.
We report, will anonymity be maintained completely, ma'am? As far as I know, ma'am, yes, it is. Right. So before complaining, because they are supposed to keep it confidential. They should not be reporting. I'm sure they will maintain all of it. You don't even have to go in person, ma'am. For cyberbullying, you can do it online.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the suggestion.
Dr. Preeti
That is
shared the
one
feedback form.
that is,
Can you please? Sorry, Neha. Go ahead.
ma'am. Yeah, that is one question, ma'am. That when pick is morph, how a person can handle emotionally.
I was
If
answering
we
that question
report,
only in the last 10 few.
okay, okay.
I read that question.
Okay, sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. The audience, they have shared the feedback form, so you can please fill the feedback form for them. Any questions or concerns?
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, cyberbullying is good or bad, ma'am?
Any bullying is bad. Cyberbullying is also bad.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Is bullying correct?
No, ma'am.
Cyberbullying is the same thing, but bullying is bad. Okay, so any bullying is wrong.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And the psychological help, a lot of questions was regarding the psychological help, right? So psychological help, don't hesitate to call the numbers Dr. Preeti was sharing. So we are here to help you and guide you. So anytime, right? And if it is, if any of your kids or anybody has suicidal thoughts because of cyberbullying, so there are suicide helpline numbers. Or if you don't know the numbers, please call these numbers. We will help and guide you. Any help? Any questions? Preeti ma'am has been sharing all the numbers in the chat box. You can check for the numbers. And she's also shared the links where to complain, right, about cyberbullying. And she's also shared a feedback form. Please fill it for them.
Ma'am, if there are no more questions, can we wind up the session, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the insightful session. Any help, they can contact us in our helplines, which is free for all students and people who cannot afford as well, even for adults.
Yes. So audience, so don't hesitate to call because it is free of cost for all students. So if you need any help, guidance, ma'am has shared the numbers. So what is the cyberbullying website? Okay. She has shared it in the in the chat box. If you can, it's cybercrime.gov.in. Okay. So if there are no questions, can we wind up?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, if we attend the spam call, now what will be happen, ma'am?
Can you repeat? I didn't understand. What is your question?
Ma'am, if we attend the spam call,
Huh.
what will be happen?
See, if you're why are you attending phone calls? Your parents won't attend the phone calls? Do you have a phone? Are you there? Yeah, she was asking for spam calls. So that's why, I mean, she sounded like a child. So I was wondering why is she attending phone calls?
And in any case of bank related emails or anything, it's always wise to go to the bank, isn't it, ma'am? Not share
Correct.
anything
Correct.
over the phone or the email. It's just to go
Even
in
if they
person to
say,
the
see, I
bank.
know another person where, see, he was actually with the bank, one of the private banks. He was actually with the bank. So he would have all the customers' numbers, right? But he had left or he was thrown out of the bank actually. And his picture is posted in that, please be aware. But how will any client know that this poster is there in the, the branch, right? So please, even if you know that that person works for the bank, do not share any details there, because no personal number, they would call and ask for these details, right? So he was thrown out for some fraud activity, and then he started calling all of those people and, getting the account numbers to withdraw cash. So please be aware. Mm, Always go in person. They would definitely not call from their personal numbers to ask for any details. And even when you are commenting or liking any post, please be very thoughtful, very, very careful with doing any of those things. Okay. Any more questions? If we don't have any questions, then we can wind up. Is that all right?